Check, check, check. Today on First Cup, we got a pile of jokes. It's Friday. Chris asked a question that I think is going to be lead to some funny answers and some good conversations. So we'll see what happens. Stick around. We're rolling at 15. Ooh, I'm excited. Here we go. Gotta pour it off. 3, 2, 1. Good morning, everyone, and welcome. Today is Friday. It is February, 12th, 2022. My name is Jerry, and this is my first cup of coffee. This laptop doesn't tell me the time, the date. It tells me the time. Not conveniently. No, it's the 11th. Friday the 11th. Good morning to Jenny and Ray and Dennis and all of you, whether you're watching live or later or listening, or maybe you have a parrot learn the episode and then recite it back to you. Thanks for joining me for my first cup of coffee. I hope you are well. Oh, Ray, that's funny. Ray says, Happy Friday. Remember, the first 5 days after the weekend are always the hardest. Oh, good morning to Stacy and Frank. Yeah, Stacy's confirming it's February 11th. Don't listen to me. It's not February 12th. I was wrong. Well, thanks for being here, everybody. Holy cow. I was a productivity monster yesterday. I got so much done. It was great. I got stuff done for clients. I got stuff done for me. The car is packed. Like, I'm ready. I'm ready to go. What is the car packed for? Superfoot training. Was supposed to have a photo shoot. The photo shoot's getting bumped. Lunch with a friend who had a birthday yesterday. Had lunch with a different friend, not his birthday, but yesterday. Working with Craig on something that we're going to launch probably second quarter. It's going to launch this year. It's a pretty big deal, and it's something that I don't think anybody in the martial arts world is doing or has ever done. So I'm kind of pumped about that. So we're going to work on that tonight. Crash at his place. And then tomorrow, seminar at Tashimar Corners in Massachusetts. Hope to see some of you there. I know Craig's going to be up here in Vermont. We're like trading places. I'm going down to his house, staying the night, and he's going to get up early and drive up to my neck of the woods. It's weird. We didn't coordinate this well. Jenny says, you just need more coffee. You could pretty much say that any time of day. What did I do yesterday other than work? So a good friend of mine works construction, and they're doing a big job at one of the ski areas. And he's like, come over for lunch. So I went over for lunch, and we chatted for a bit. That was nice. Came back, did a bunch of stuff here. Martial Journal issue 2 is in the mail. It's in the mail. It went out. I dropped it off at like 5 o'clock yesterday, so it'll go out today. I'm expecting people are going to start seeing that on Monday. It's only 2 months later than we had targeted. Stuff. Oh, man. We're just going to keep getting better, like everything else we do. I think I'm still waking up. I slept well. What else did I do? Oh, did a bunch of work in the greenhouse right there. At some point, I'll have to show you all the greenhouse. Ordered some more lighting for the greenhouse. I'm going to grow so many plants this year. Last year, when I did all my plant starts inside, it was very obvious that I needed a greenhouse, that it wasn't enough light. It wasn't warm enough. It wasn't humid enough. And I'm not going to make the whole house bright, warm, and humid. I'm going to make that little space bright, warm, and humid. And I should be able to get all of my plants going in there. I should be good to go there. We will find out. 1284, 108. I might be able to do as many as 108 at a time. That should be enough. Because some of them, as they get bigger, can rotate out. They don't need to stay in there forever. What else? Anything else today? No. Today's a pretty simple day. Lots of driving in the car. Lots of kicking. Lots of hanging out with friends. That's the day. I'll come back tomorrow night. And then who knows? I don't know what's going on Sunday. Hey, Google, what's the weather going to be on Sunday?
Sunday in Moortown, it'll be partly cloudy with a high of 16 and a low of -4.
So not hiking. High of 16, low of -4. Definitely not hiking then. That's a little bit too cold. Good morning, Daniel and Andy. I feel like there was more I was going to tell you. Did I leave things around here I was going to tell you about? I thought I did. I don't see them. So most of you know I spent some time on TikTok, and mostly what I enjoy are videos of lions and tigers. But there are martial arts videos on there, and sometimes I watch them. And lately, it's people complaining about people complaining. And some person actually posed the question, why is everyone so critical and complaining? Because those are the comments that you respond to, you fools. Don't feed the trolls. I've been on the internet since 1990. When did we get our first computer? 4. I was on the internet in like 1994, maybe early 95, somewhere in there. And I was on all the time, right? Like I was that kid, do my homework. My mother would be on the internet. She'd go to bed. I'd be up for another 2 to 3 hours every night. Every night. I was all over the place. I made my first web pages with like, I hand wrote them, like bracket, head, close bracket, head, body tag, right? Like most of you are going, what are you talking about? I've been on the internet a long time. And even back then, we had the saying, don't feed the trolls. In 94, don't feed the trolls. You're feeding the trolls. People are being fools. Don't feed the trolls. It is the exact same behavior as a child acting out for attention. You're intentionally validating their need for attention. Stop it, and it'll go away. Don't validate a child when they act out. Don't validate trolls when they say dumb things. The problem is the other side of it is that the algorithm rewards that behavior. So you respond to a comment. It's an easy way to make more content. And it feeds the algorithm. It feeds the trolls. Everybody loses. And what's blowing me away is the number of people that are like, comments are, you don't know what you're doing. Yes, I do. I have this many stripes on my belt, and I've been training for this long, and my instructor is this person. Whatever. Meanwhile, we're over here posting interviews with controversial characters. People, not characters. Monday. Some of you know. I hope you're excited. I'm excited. Andrew and I are excited. We were talking about this. Actually, Andrew and I had a brief conversation yesterday online about some things we needed to do to make sure that this episode went well with release. So, yeah. Ray says, you just tripped every GOOGLE in my house, LOL. That's funny. Kelly says, happy Friday. Daniel says, trolls have been an internet thing since the early message boards of the mid 90s. It might have even been sooner. It wouldn't surprise me. DARPA sets up their connection. Did everyone know that the internet originally started as a defense project? That they set up the first 2 points. I forget where it was. And that, I think it was Stanford and I forget who the second point was. Stanford and I think somebody else. And, some random kid in a dorm room, this is the 60s, at the University of North Dakota, Bismarck, jumps in and is like, troll. Yeah. And Daniel says, pages still use HTML, Jeremy. Yeah, I know they do, but nobody knows how to code it. They use an editor. Nobody's sitting down with Wix or Squarespace is in there making sure they close body tags. That's not a thing anymore. Daniel says, I do. Okay, fine. 2 of us do. The only time I get into the code is when WordPress is being dumb and I'm trying to figure out why there are, between cascading style sheets and all these inherited formats on the text. I have a heading here that's one font and one over here that's another. So I just go into code and delete stuff. Delete or random, these like weird hanging divs that don't need to be there. Stacy says, it's been a problem since I got online in 88. There we go. Trolls and rando people hitting on people. Well, people have always hit on people. Like that's I'm not going to say that it is okay for people to make sexual advances on anyone, everyone, anytime, right? Like that's but the fact that it exists is not new, and it predates the internet by thousands of years. I'm sure. We if you look at the Bible story, I'm sure Adam didn't go up to Eve and be like, "Hi, how are you? You okay if I sit down?" I'm sure it was a little more forward. It's more like, "What's up?" I'm in a silly mood. All right, let's shift gears. We got stuff. Let's do it. We got jokes. You ready? We got the jokes. Switch to this layout. A lot of jokes. All right. The jokes for Funday Friday. February is National Bird Feeding Month. That is a very specific month. Did you hear the owls having a party last night? Sounded like a real hoot. What did the turkey say when he forgot to study for his test? I'll just wing it. I published a book about birds. It flew off the shelf. What do you call a parrot that flew away? A polygon. That's great. Oh, that's a good one, Frank. Whew. Hold on, we're yawning. What do you call a bird who wins Jeopardy? A know-it owl. Why can't turkeys go to church? They use foul language. What do you call a parrot that flew away? A polygon. That is good stuff. Very good stuff. All right, and we're back here. Stacy said, people just do things online they would never do in person, trolling or not. It's true. It's we don't have the real-time feedback of people's facial expressions to help guide us. We don't have people responding. We don't have the threat that if we go way too far over the line, that somebody may physically check us. Dennis says, I hit on everyone, but only in person. I do have rules. Kelly says, no, assuming she's referencing Adam. He said, how you doing? Silly is good for jokes. Jenny says, Adam was probably more like, Well, your options are me and the snake over there. So what do you say we do this? Biblical humor on a Friday. Take care, Andy. Dennis liked the Polygon one as well. What do you call a parrot flies away? Polygon. That's good times. You know, there's a reason I'm friends with most of you. You're all ridiculous people, and so am I. We get along in that way. What are we doing here? We're gonna share this one. I can't share more than one tab at a time, and that bums me out. We got a couple more quotes, and then I think it was Chris dropped something in. No, I don't want that view. I want this view. Okay. So I think Frank is indulging my love of hip hop here. He's been given some hip hop quotes. So these are all three from Puff. Yeah. So Puff Daddy, founder of the Bad Boy label, was really the probably the second hip hop mogul, and really the first one that became like the public face. And he's a really smart guy. People forget that, oh, but you were wearing a Mylar suit in the mid 90s. You can't be that bright. No, he's actually a really smart guy. So we got some quotes here from him. Don't chase the paper, chase the dream. It's ironic that throughout hip hop culture, you see a repeated statement about money. It's not about the money. Money is less important than other things. And the irony is you have other people in the business world saying that. I've got a friend who talks not frequently, but I've heard him say it a number of times. My friend Eddie, the comedian, that you see all these people, they get rich and then they go buy a farm. It's like just buy a farm, right? We realize, most of us, is when we get money, not me, but I'm guessing that money doesn't make you happy. It doesn't change everything. It doesn't solve the problems. And so the priorities become other things. Money is a tool. If you listen to Grant Cardone at all, money is a tool towards other things. If it's sitting, it's not doing anything. It is essentially useless. It is constantly losing value, et cetera, et cetera. One of the things that I have, this doesn't come from me. I've read, learned, heard this, and I suggest other people. What is the intersection of what you all really, really love and are really good at? That's what you invest into to make money. It can be a job, but it could also be your own business. It could be a lot of things. And if you look at what are you really good at, what do you love to do, the intersection is usually something people will pay for if you look at it the right way. And I know some of you here, and I know what you're good at. I know more so about what you love to do. There's always money there. Maybe not a ton. Maybe you're not going to become a billionaire doing it. It's going to be really hard for somebody with a martial arts school to become a billionaire, for example. But I could put together a path that would get you there. It would involve multiple schools and franchising and a bunch of things like that. Good morning, Brian. I'm gonna share this because, Daniel, I literally do think in terms like this sometimes. This I've left comments for people. I've sent messages like this, and most people don't get it. How you doing? Stacey says, we all belong on the island of misfit toys. That's it, right? You know, it's funny you bring that up. Growing up, I saw myself as a misfit. I guess in a sense I still do. But the older I've gotten, the more I realize everyone sees themselves as a misfit. Some people just aren't willing to embrace it. The people that are cool and popular, in hindsight, so much of that personality was a defense mechanism because of how they felt about themselves. And the real version of them did not come out. We're all misfits. And if we're all misfits, then none of us are misfits. Next, my mind is always racing and always going and always working, and it's a gift and a curse. I can relate to that. I can absolutely relate to that. I used to think there was a point where I would just not work this hard. I don't believe that exists anymore. There will always be something that I'm working on. I will always we could, I could wake up tomorrow and there could be a national declaration and it could be, you know what? Everyone in the world has to do 6 months of martial arts, which is the stated goal here for whistlekick. That is the tangible goal. I want everyone to do this. Not believing it's ever going to happen, but that's the goal. I'd still find other things to do. Maybe they wouldn't be martial arts related, but I would still find plenty of things to do. There's a backup podcast. There's a podcast that I want to do. If everything else fell apart, I've already got the business plan there. I've got the food plan for the food truck. I'm sorry, the business plan for the food truck. Like, I got ideas. I got lots of ideas. The food truck would get franchised. I'd prove it out and then sell off the rights. Some good money there with this one. I tell people the idea. I've shared the idea with a few people, and they just kind of look at me and their eyes get big, and they're like, "Can that happen right now?" Last one. What song is that from? This is from the opening. It's funny that this comes up because this is probably still my favorite song from that era. It's off the song Victory. The sun don't shine forever, but as long as it's here, then we might as well shine together. Next line is better now than never. To say it another way, make hay when the sun shines. You have to enjoy where you are. Whatever's going on. Like, I think when we're younger, when I was in my 20s, I kept telling myself, once I get over this hurdle, everything will be fine. And then there was another hurdle and another hurdle. And initially I thought poorly of myself. I was like, I'm not managing life well. I'm not managing my business as well. It was something in me. Something was deficient. Life is complex. There is always another hurdle. You want proof? Look at the lives of wealthy people. You can't be wealthy anymore without getting hate. You can't be poor without getting hate. All of us experience hurdles every single day. So if the sun is shining, if it's a good day, if there's something that you can take some joy in, do it, because tomorrow may be different. That's how I read that. So there's a wonderful conversation going on in the chat, and I'm not going to share all these messages. And it's people talking about what they love to do and their hobbies and turning them into businesses and things. And I think that's great. This is one of the things that I love about this show is that we have this dynamic, and then there's the separate, the side dynamic of people joining live. And for those of you who watch or listen, I understand most of you this is not a convenient time. That's why we have the numbers of people that we have joining us with versus our reach. But if you ever get the chance, if you have a day off from work, we do this even on, Monday holidays or something. I hope you'll come by and I hope you'll check out what the chat is, because it's not like other chats that I've seen for live shows. Ray says, I once had a really rich person tell me, you don't want my money because you don't want the problems that my money creates. Yeah. The average lottery winner, regardless of winnings, is broke in a couple years, 2 to 3 years. Think about that. Oh, well, I'll buy a house for this person and this person and this person and this person. They don't manage it well. And then next thing you know, it's gone. You have a lot of friends and relatives when you win the lottery. I think the sweet spot is probably like that. I think that $5 million net worth mark is probably the best, because at that point you can afford like a really good investment advisor versus the franchised ones, and you can actually get real returns on your money that outperform the inflation. But you don't have so much that people are going to find out and they're going to track you down and beg you for money. Daniel says, I used to enjoy fiddling with computers, 18 years in a PC repair shop, including owning it for 3. Now it's not fun. I used to ask, so all of you know, I had a computer repair company. Well, we had a store, we did on-site service, we had a IT consultancy. And when people would come and they would apply for tech jobs, I would ask them, why do you want to work here? Oh, I love computers. Okay. So in 2 weeks, when you hate them, why will you want to work here? And they would look at me and be like, I love working on computers. Why would I hate it? I'm like, it's gonna happen. It's happened with 100% of people who've taken this job. It's happened with me. Why do I not game on a computer? Why do I have a PlayStation over there? Because I don't want to deal with fixing it. Right? I want this one box and it works, and I go and I play, and not, oh, I have to update this patch and video card and nope. And I would check in with them, and every one of them, a few months in, Max, remember when you said I was going to hate computers? Yeah. Yep. Sylvie says, chickens are my zen. I love it. All right. So here's this question, and I thought you all would find this fun. From Chris Rickard. How much time do you and Andrew Adams spend talking about a Thursday episode topic before recording? And I responded with a laughy emoji, because the answer is very little. And you can probably tell, and actually this fits into my whole philosophy of, let's just see where it goes. When I interview, I don't prep. I look at the photos of the person, because I want to know who I'm talking to. They have there's some information we ask them to send over, like what's their title, social media, websites, things like that. And the way they answer that gives me an idea of the tone of the conversation. And then we just go. And I don't prep because the listeners don't prep. Now, when Andrew and I sit down, some of the topics we will have discussed before. But here's the thing to remember. Andrew listened to the show long before he was part of the show. So he knows me. He knows my thoughts. And we have, I would say we're probably 80% in agreement on probably any topic. We generally agree on most things, but there's some specificities that we disagree. Okay. And we're also able to play devil's advocate and play off of each other. And I think that that's where the dynamic of the show comes from. Now, depending on the episode, there are times where it's like, okay, hey, what are we talking about? because we might have the topic picked out, but we may not. I mean, we certainly rarely have an outline. If we're doing a Q&A show, he's got an outline set up. But most of the time, it's let's just kind of bat it around. And I think part of the reason we can do that, now I can't speak to how much his mind works this way, but after doing this for 6 years, wow, almost 7 years, yikes, I'm able to keep this stuff in my head. I'm able to have a conversation, and then over here in another part of my brain, I've got notes on what I want to say later. I can't always get to them. Sometimes I lose them, but I can generally run those two parallel tracks where I'm talking to you and I'm thinking about what I'm going to do next. So like I'm talking to you right now and I'm making a grocery list in the back of my head. Now it's a very simple list: cheese, pizza, asparagus. But I was able to do that while I was talking. I don't know if everybody can do that, but it's something I can. There are also times, if you know me really well, this doesn't happen very often. But if you catch some of the interview episodes, there are times where I completely lose my train of thought, where I spaced out for a moment or something, and the guest is talking, and then it's clear I have to talk, and I'm like, oh, shoot. And I just talk until I find something. Jeremy's, that's an awful long monologue for Jeremy. It's like 2 minutes. Yeah, Jeremy was looking for something to say. Jenny says, I can't walk and chew gum. I hope to have that kind of mental strength and focus one day. It's a skill like anything else. About 2 years, here, this will be the last thing, and then I'm going to go. About 2 years ago, something, how do I want to describe it? Something broke free in my mind. And I don't know how it happened, but there are times where I can independently manipulate different arms. I can do something over here and I can do something over here. You know, this is the rub your belly, pat your head thing, right? But more so. And I first started noticing I'd be brushing my teeth and I'd be able to do something, you know, like brushing my teeth, open the closet, take a thing out, put a thing away. And some of those other hand movements, you know, I'm righty, but some of those left hand movements started getting rather complex. And I was like, I don't think I'm supposed to be able to do this. So my brain's weird. Maybe it's all the coffee. All right. I hope you have a great day. I know I'm going to see at least one of you tomorrow at Mark Warner's. It is open to the public, so if anybody wants to check it out, there's a Facebook event, Rising Phoenix Tour, Mark Warner's Professional Martial Arts. You Facebook search that, you'll find it. If you can't find it, just message me. I'll get you the details. There is a cost. It's not much. I do have some books I'm bringing down for that. I hope you have a good weekend. Remember, we do the show 6:30 a.m. Facebook, YouTube. Today we're on Twitter. Monday we'll be on Twitter. I think I'm doing Tuesdays and Thursdays on Twitch. We've got Patreon, patreon.com/whistlekick. Got the code FirstCup15. I've been doing so well. FirstCup15 at whistlekick.com for any weekly updates over there. Do you love what we do? Help us out. Reviews are, right now, I'm really asking for reviews. We've been doing a lot better with reviews, and it helps substantially. I don't think you people realize, especially Spotify. It looks like we've captured Spotify as like we're the martial arts podcast on Spotify. So even if you don't use Spotify, you can get it for free. You can listen for, I think you need to listen to an episode for 30 seconds, and then you can leave a review. It's not really a review, it's a rating. So maybe you want to leave 5 stars, hopefully. And if you have questions or comments for the show, this will be set up shortly. Facebook.com/firstcupwithjeremy. If you don't do Facebook, email me, but it's a lot easier on Facebook. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for watching or listening. I appreciate each and every one of you. You're great people. I'll see you back here on Monday. Take care. Peace.